her art is our life.
Yeah.
So she's real social, and she's always cooking, and she's always planning our social calendar, and she really, really, really helps me with like putting shows together,
Sure,
and answering emails, and because I'll just get so like I'm in the studio, I can't answer the phone, I just can't, pay the electric bill. It's too much. I gotta focus on my artwork.
I understand.
So she's a great help, kind of keeping my shit together.
Yeah. No, it was funny. I was having that conversation with my wife the other day because I was at home, and I love my kids, but they were like, I was at a point where I was down with my sketchbook, and I was trying to like grasp it, these ideas, and sometimes it almost feels like you're trying to remember a dream, and it's like you can't, like, man, I remember that dream being really awesome, but I can't, like, what was that, right? And it's just like right there on the tip of your consciousness, and then, you hear, a couple of, 12-year-olds arguing in the next room, and it's like, it's gone, and
sure.
So, I hear what you're saying, how necessary it is for your brain to, have her dealing with some of the things that would be taking up other space in there,
Yeah, it's really nice, and she doesn't always want to do it. I mean, I don't blame her. She doesn't do everything for me, but she does a lot of stuff for me.
Right.
It just makes it really.
Well,
flows a lot better.
It just says you're a team, and you each have your roles, right?
It really helps. She's a great help.
Right.
And then she's great on the computer, so anything that needs to be written and returned, she helps me with. And she had a background in journalism, so she's a great writer.
Sure.
And we're great friends, and we have a great time doing these shows and kind of living a certain lifestyle.
Right. Awesome. So, do you think you've tapped out on Dairy Queen here, or do you think this is the start of more pieces?
And it's definitely the start of more pieces. I have another show in January coming up at the Galveston Art Center, and it's a big space like this as well. And and that's going to be based on Dairy Queen.
Right.
So it's definitely through, and usually, like if I take on a subject, I'll stick with it, for a couple years.
Sure.
Because it takes a long time to do all this work.
Well, I mean, you have to go all the way through the menu. I'm looking at the room, and I can't find the dip cone.
There's a lot of dip cones over there, but I haven't gone through all the menu items, and there's some bigger wall pieces that I'd like to do. I'd like to recreate the entire as a painting. The entire drive-through menu.
Yeah, I mean it's
as a big 6x8 painting.
Yeah, and it's just funny, over there the stack of giant straws and giant sundae spoons and giant ketchup cups.
And a lot of fast food is just it's all disposable. It's use the spoon, throw it in the trash.
Right.
The plastic. It's just a lot of plastic, and so I thought it was funny that. To make a stack of plastic, reproduction plastic straws out of wood, that would be somehow have value and it's not disposable, not thrown away. So I'm turning plastic into wood, into art, something like that, just as a kind of an idea.
Yeah.
Or there's fake they're made out of wood, but it's fake styrofoam.
Right.
I could use styrofoam, but I want to make it out of wood.
Right. And it's just really easy for me to get nostalgic about Dairy Queen. And I remember when I was a kid, they would serve. I don't know if they still do this, but they would serve I can't remember if it was the Belt Buster or the Hunger Buster, but it would come in this paper box that looked like a pair of jeans with a belt buckle.
Oh, right.
Like a Dairy Queen belt buckle, right?
The Belt Buster.
Yeah, and I'm just
Belt Buster.
And I'm just and
they had a real big Dennis the Menace campaign,
right?
And they're just kind of great. It's the best fast food chain to do food.
And
it's the most fun.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people are probably almost as passionate about Whataburger
Oh,
around here. You know?
I was just asked that, like, what do you think of Whataburger? I'm a big fan of Whataburger, really. I am. And I really like their burgers, and I used to get their taquitos a lot.
Right.
You know, that was great. And I really like now that Whataburger's popular with, like, Beto O'Rourke. It's somehow entered this race for Senate.
That's
Senate,
hilarious.
you know, spicy ketchup. They accused Beto of copying the Whataburger font for their spicy ketchup.
Oh, right. And I hadn't thought about that.
Put
but
the
you're right.
signage next to each
Yeah,
other.
yeah,
There's similarities,
right.
and so it's just really funny that Cruz was like,
Right.
"You're ripping off Whataburger."
Yeah.
He also called him the triple meat, a triple meat Whataburger liberal, or something like that. And you're like, what is bad about that? I mean, a triple meat.
Why not
That sounds
quadruple
pretty
meat?
Texan.
Yeah.
If you're asking me, a
Exactly.
triple meat Whataburger is pretty Texan.
No, with jalapenos.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah, and that's a good thing about Whataburgers. You can get jalapenos.
Right.
Yeah. Dairy Queen. Maybe Dairy Queen has
And
jalapenos.
my brother is able to, like, you know, he got all the inside scoop on the ketchup, and, like, you know, how they're, you know, being able to discern, because I guess they're like 4 or 5 different varieties of ketchup. It's not just one ketchup. Like, some varieties are spicier than others, and, like, you have to look for the particular, you know, number on the packets to figure out which ketchup
Even
you're
though
getting.
they're identical?
And so, like, they're not exactly identical. And then there's, like, some sort of.
But there's not. It doesn't say spicy ketchup.
It doesn't. Right. It doesn't say spicy on it.
That's the inside.
Yeah,
that's
and
a real
so-
connoisseur of ketchup.
Right.
I just remember driving.
So it's not like, you know, those, like, off menus that they'll have at places like In and Out and stuff like that. You know. But you were saying you remember driving.
Oh, and I just, you know, you'd have a ketchup package, and it was too messy to squirt the ketchup in the cardboard container, so you would just open a ketchup and suck on it, and then bite the ketchup.
Oh my gosh.
Bite the fry. It was, you know,
Right.
that was how you drove. You know, changed lanes and drove down the freeway eating French fries.
Yeah. So, but hey, you know, I appreciate your time.
Oh, man, it was fun.
And, you know, the show looks great.
Thank you.
And I mean, this is something that's just going to photograph, you know, so well. I mean, I can just see Instagram loving all this, because I mean, it's this is awesome. And so how much, you know, how much time, how long did it take for you to, like, put this show together?
Oh, I started pretty much I started making some dip cones last summer, but I didn't really. This is probably 8 months.
Right.
Yeah, something like that. And it's took like a month off. Well, you know, I took like 3 weeks off for a vacation. We
Right.
Went to Italy, so that cut into it. And then, you know,
Had to get your mind straight.
yeah, well, and then there's just always distractions, like you miss a weekend here, friends come into town, and so. But it's probably about 8 months worth of work, and the pieces take a lot of. I mean, they take a lot of time. So when I'm not goofing off, I'm in the shop. You
Yeah.
know? And then you start out working 6 hours a day, and then you start working 8 hours a day, and then
Right.
at the end, the last month or so, it's like 12-hour days, 15-hour days.
I assume you're going to take some time off.
Um,
Or are you going to go back?
Well, I'm
to
gonna
the
take
well, you have the Galveston thing.
I had the
coming up.
Galveston show, but when we get back, my wife's opening a new store downtown, and so I'm doing a big display table.
Sure.
We haven't have the idea of the scale yet, but it's going to be a large table, probably 15 feet.
So can we share the name of the store in case folks are making?
I think so. I'll tell you it, but I mean, before you release.
Okay. All right. That's fine. And so when is it opening up?
We're not really sure. They're renovating the building, so hopefully in the next few months.
Okay. Well, that's fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
We'll you know what, whenever it does open up, I'll put a link, you know, on the website where this episode is. And
So the table's a big
Yeah.
heart pine table, and for the legs, they're going to be revolvers. with the cylinders that turn.
Awesome. Well, camp, I can't say thanks enough. I know that, you had a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff come together today, and I appreciate you carving out time for me to sit down and talk.
Well, I wanted to
work.
do it. I just kind of was panicked this morning. Buck was like, "He's coming by," and I was like, "An hour interview."
And I really appreciate being flexible, man.
All right,
it's a pleasure meeting you.
Yeah, good luck with your work too.
Thank you.
Again, a huge thank you to Camp Bosworth. If you want to see more of Camp's work, check out his website at campbosworth.com. That's C-A, M as in Mary, P as in Paul, B as in boy, O, S as in Sam, WORTH.com, or on Instagram at Camp Bosworth. I know there are lots of podcasts out there, so thanks for listening to this one. Outside of New York is a weekly podcast. And as always, you can listen to the show at Apple Podcasts, iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher Radio, Spotify, or your favorite podcast app. If you enjoyed this podcast, be sure to subscribe. And while you're there, please rate the show and leave a quick review. Your feedback is the key to other folks finding us. If you prefer to go straight to the source, you can catch a new episode each week at outsideofnewyork.com, where new talks normally drop on Sunday evenings. Outside of New York is a great place to check out past episodes and see images from each of our conversations. If you're interested in learning more about my art, you can visit my website at craiggould.com. That's CraigGould.com. Or check me out on Instagram at CraigGouldArt. And lastly, Outside of New York is a commercial-free, listener-supported program. Podcasts have a number of ongoing costs, like paying for a place to store and host all the episodes, or the cost of hitting the road to interview artists who don't exactly live down the street. So if you want to make sure we stick around, you can support us by making a donation through Patreon. Patreon is a platform that allows patrons to provide financial support in the form of a one-time payment or monthly donations of as little as $1. So visit patreon.com/outside of New York, or just look for the link at outsideofnewyork.com. Thanks again, and have a great week.